we are going to get into our next game, which is going to be the Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, the Panthers are probably one of the biggest shocks in the NFL, going 3-0. The Cowboys are 2-1, just a few points shy of being 3-0. Obviously, that loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 1. Dak Prescott has showed that the ankle's just fine. He's playing great football. Ezekiel Elliott had an absolute great game. Tony Pollard's playing good. The wide receiver, Corey, is playing absolutely sensational. And the most surprising thing is Dallas's defense is playing relatively solid. They held Justin Herbert to 17 points. They kept Jalen Hurts to 21 points, but technically 14 because
it was garbage time.
Garbage time, and the first touchdown was a defensive score. So technically, you held Philly to 14 points. So I'm just going to come right out and say it. I don't think the Carolina is going to be able to kind of escape this, if I'm being honest with you. I think that the high-powered offense of the Cowboys is going to be able to come out there and not light it up, but I do think without CMC there, I do think without Joe Horn Jr. there, that it's not Joe Horn Jr., is it?
It's J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn. I apologize. My bad, Horn. I think that the acquisition of C.J. Henderson was a panic move because they did lose their top corner early on in the season. But I'm curious to see how this game pans out. Carolina's defense is actually statistically rated the best defense in the NFL right now with everything that they've been able to dominate from rushing yards per game, I believe passing yard attempts, and a couple of other feats. I know I saw it on Pro Football Focus. They literally lead the NFL in so many different categories. But Kyle, I'm just going to transition to you. Can Carolina maintain this undefeated streak against this high-powered Dallas offense? Or will Dallas knock them off the undefeated horse and show that they're a team to be messed with this season?
I mean, I think Dallas gets the win here because when I look at what the Panthers have played this year so far, they played the Jets, they played the Saints, and the Texans. Now, there's only really one good team that they've played against so far, and that's probably the Saints. But when I look at what the Cowboys present so far, and I can't believe I'm actually talking about the Cowboys in this way. It's kind of shocking to me.
I predict them to win the division. I'm just saying.
The Cowboys look really good right now. And maybe that's just because of the beatdown they put on Philly in Week 3. But when I look at this Cowboys team, this is a well-rounded unit. So the Cowboys are coming off of a win where they scored 41 points. They essentially beat probably the one team that might contend with them as far as who's going to win the NFC East this year. And they did it in a very well-rounded fashion. Dak was efficient in that game. I believe he only had like 5 incompletions in that game. Ezekiel Elliott probably had one of his best games of the year, if not his best game of the year. And the defense was in a situation where they were basically playing on their toes and ready for what Jalen Hurts was ready to present. Now, transitioning into the Panthers matchup that they have, I think it's going to be more of the same. I think that defense is going to peel their ears back, and I think they're going to be able to get a consistent pass rush against Sam Darnold. Now, are they going to get home like they were able to against Jalen Hurts? Who knows? I doubt it, just because, let's be honest, Philly's offensive line was really kind of suspect to begin with, and Jalen had to run out of the pocket many times in that matchup. And that could be a situation where the Panthers could be in that same situation that the Eagles were in last week. The biggest thing with me in this matchup for the Panthers is that they cannot turn the ball over. And the Cowboys, they've been sensational with getting turnovers so far.
They lead the league.
Yeah, I believe they have 8 turnovers already just in 3 weeks. So Carolina is definitely going to have to protect the football in this game if they're going to have a shot to win this game. I just don't really see that here. I think the Cowboys are on a roll right now, especially after that Philly win. Dak looks like he's not only better than what he was coming off of that terrible, gruesome leg injury that he had last year. I mean, he has this offense humming in ways that I didn't think that were going to be possible probably until midway through the season. I thought they were going to kind of struggle at first when they kind of like reintegrate him back into the offense, but he's been sensational so far. He looks confident. He's efficient. He's not turning the ball over. And I think if they just get more of the run game going with Zeke and Tony Pollard, I don't know how Carolina's going to be able to stop that. This is probably the best offense that Carolina's faced at this point. Even though that the Saints are 2-1, I think the Cowboys have a much more high caliber offense than the Saints currently do. And I definitely think that the Cowboys are going to stretch this defense. And I think that the Cowboys, when it's all said and done, I think they're going to put up 30 points in this game. And I think this is going to be the game where I think Carolina, they take a back seat. I do think that 3-0 record is a little overstated or maybe a little overhyped simply because they haven't played against the best talent so far. And I think the Cowboys are going to expose them a little bit. I think the Cowboys win this one, and I think they win this one by about, 7 to 10 points. I think this could be potentially a 2-possession win for the Cowboys when it's all said and done.
So obviously I got the Cowboys winning this game, as I stated before. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be that big of a margin just because the Panthers defense is on a roll. The Panthers defense has not seen anything competitive in regards to a high-powered or, like focal point offense like the Dallas Cowboys. But you can't take away the fact that those numbers state that they are playing at a very high level. CeeDee Lamb is slowly but quietly emerging as the number one receiver on this team outside of Amari Cooper. I don't know if it's because people are doubling Amari or because CeeDee is creating that much separation. So I am curious to kind of see how Carolina picks their poison to see what receiver they're going to either double or kind of just focus on. But overall, I do see that this game maybe goes to 7 to 10 points. I think this game just comes to a little bit more of a closer decision just because I feel like Carolina's offense is something to not be slept on either. DJ Moore and the rest of those boys are pretty solid in terms of the receiving core. Roby Anderson is somebody that you can't really sleep on anymore because he's proven it the last 2 years that it wasn't a fluke in New York. He is a viable deep threat, and he does run consistent routes as well. So we will see how it portrays over the next couple of days and kind of see what the injury report looks like for Dallas. I know they're missing quite a bit of stars on their side of the ball as well. So super excited. Another 4:00 game that is going to be absolutely crazy. It's funny when you think about picking the poison of what matchup you really want to see or like stop to watch. So, it's going to be a good Sunday.